Is it? People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Good evening, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. from Bibb's Record Shop. We will begin our program tonight with a famous quote from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And there's two quotes that we will be quoting tonight. And one is, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. The second one is, it may well be that we will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the virile words and the violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence and indifference of those good people who sit around and say, wait on time. These quotes are very relevant in today's time when we have situations that's happening in our community and all around us, like the closing of the St. Vincent Charity Hospitals. Well, we need our leaders, our civic leaders, we need our community leaders to come out and say something about the closing of St. Vincent Charity Hospital and other issues that are happening in our community. We want to say to you, those of you who have been wondering, where can I get a business opportunity? I would like to start a business. I want to get my business off the ground. So we have an opportunity here for you today with the Bibb Business Opportunity Grand Opening. Yes, the Bibb Business Grand Opportunity Opening is here now with Snap Delivered. And Snap Delivered has some great opportunity for us today. One is the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program. Two is the ERC refund. $1.9 trillion is available. $1.9 trillion is available for those who qualify. And who are those who qualify? Well, the people that are qualifying can receive up to $26,000 per employee. If you have a business in the United States, and if you are a nonprofit organization, you now qualify for the federal tax refund check. SNAP. Did I say SNAP? Yes, SNAP Delivered. You can join there for free. For more information, you can call Mr. Charles E. Bibb's office at 216-681-1469 or call Mr. Charles E. Bibb's cell phone at 216-659-4619. I want you all to get ready because we have a great show for you tonight. A lot of good information, as Mr. Bibb would like to say, hot information off the press. We're coming to you tonight, and we're going to open up with our legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. Take it away, Mr. Bibbs.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Dan Fair. You're awesome as always, except you're getting better each week.
Yes, sir.
Just keep on keeping on. Tonight, we got an awesome lineup, and we got some spanking brand new news. And Miss Tammy Kennedy is in the house. I'm so glad to have her back in the country. I'm glad to have her back on the United States shores. And we hope she don't go away for a while.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Guess who's back in town?
Back in town. Back in the country.
Back in the country.
All right. Miss Vivian L. Shaw, who has the hottest radio program going in the country. Are you there?
I'm here, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr., Guru, and I'm ready for you and your show. Okay. Well, I have I have Discover Yourself Radio. It's a streaming online radio app, and it remains relevant even in the digital age. And we call ourselves Potpourri People, and it's from the heart of Vivian Louise Sharp. We display the variety of gifts and talents in music and the variety of spiritual and intellectual perspectives shared in the community and leaving no one behind. And this week I have two new people on the interviews. One is from New York by way of New Jersey, Jason Mallet Man Taylor. He's a vibraphone recording artist from New Jersey. And Bishop Leonard Kiowa Ministries from Chicago, Illinois, and his wife, Pastor Gail Kiowa. And we have 5 other new people, but I won't go into that. You just have to go to your app, Discover Yourself, and you'll find us all there waiting for you, Mr. Bibb. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, Ms. Vivian L. Sharp. We're looking forward to your program. Thank you, thank you. And
Thank you.
coming once again to us, recording style, gospel, and rhythm and blues and soul. Miss Joanne Holly, are you in the house?
Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr., I am here.
All right, come and share that awesome information for this beautiful opportunity about cryptocurrency. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, and good evening to all of the kings and queens out there. I want you to listen to me real good. All around Ohio and around the world, I want to welcome everybody to People Get Ready with Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. and group. I am Joanne Hollywood, your cryptocurrency queen. I'm talking to the kings and queens on the throne. I have some extraordinary information to share. Get your pen and paper out now. I'm excited for what the future has to offer. I was blessed to be invited to join a private group that helps you build your legacy with cryptocurrencies and trading without having to spend a lot of money, but your options are unbelievable. It's giving me the chance to build my legacy and help my family and friends do the same. I'm actually going to share how you can get the money you need now, not next week, not next year, now. If you want to receive an invitation to learn more about cryptocurrencies and trading, you can send me a text message at 216-407-0008. That's 216-407-0008. Put CC, 2 C's in parentheses, which stands for cryptocurrencies. And I'll be sending you the conference call number and times available. Anybody that knows me knows I believe in making money and having fun. So don't miss out on this. This is it. This is the best it's ever going to get. No excuses. If you want a lifestyle change, tell yourself, I will find a way, I will create a way, but I will not create an excuse. So let's get to moving and shaking, and let's get back with Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. so we can rock and roll, because this is it. We don't want to come in with 2023 broker than we were in 2022. We need more money, you know, M-O-R-E, more money. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. and the staff. Back to you.
Miss Joanne Holly?
Yes, sir.
Would you give us the information about your Thursday call again, please?
Thursday call is it at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, Mr. Bibb?
You have your traffic. We'll come back to you a little later. So
Yeah, I got
be
the
prepared
traffic.
when I call you back next time.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna move right along. James Jerome Bell is under the weather. He's supposed to be with us tonight. So we want to talk about the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I can share this with you. I'm being fair. And Miss Tammy Kennedy just got back in the country while she was gone. The Prime Minister only been in office 40 days. It got too hot, she had to resign. So she's gone now. And they have a brand new Prime Minister. broke the record twice. New prime minister, first time in over 200 years, 42 years old. And hold on to your chair, because the new prime minister is of color. Queen Victoria will be turning over right now. 42 years old, Miss Kennedy, and of color, Asian descent, is the prime minister of UK now. That's the world moving. The world is moving fast, fast, fast. And so imagine our president will be meeting with the new prime minister soon. It should be very interesting. And just the other day, he had to meet with King Charles. King Charles.
King Charles, yes.
When you left, Miss Kennedy, we had the Queen of England. Now we got the King of England, King Charles.
King Charles.
All right, very good, very good. We try to bring you the hot latest news. We're working on that, do that every week for you because your audience is so great. Now, Reverend Ben Fair.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibb.
The hospitals are closing and downsizing all over the country.
Yes.
But look like they're hitting the 11th Congressional District extra hard, Ms. Candace. And just a few weeks ago, they just almost closed St. Vincent. And before that news would get around the county, Reverend Ben Fair, tell us what happened at University Hospital.
All right, Mr. Bibb. Yes. Here's the information about University Hospital. Very interesting. University Hospitals lays off 117 administrative employees, eliminating 326 unfilled positions. The city citing financial concerns stemming from pandemic. University Hospital has announced that it will be laying off 170 administrative employees and eliminating 326 unfilled administrative positions. The University Hospital as well has a large number of other hospitals in the region and across the nation is facing economic downturn that began with a surge of COVID-19 cases earlier this year and has compounded by several other factors such as supply chain issues, recorded high inflation, and unprecedented forced work shortage. University Hospital said in a statement, these have made 2022 one of the most financially difficult years for healthcare systems in the United States. Adding to these challenges are shifting demographics in Northeast Ohio, resulting in a high percentage of patients on Medicare and Medicaid federal insurance programs, which have not kept pace with the rising costs of care. UH says that it has experienced a net operating loss of $184.6 million through the first 8 months of 2022. In order to take action now to reserve this downward trend and preserve our ability to make further investments in our mission, UA says it is reimagining how it would deliver care at a lower cost while also working to ensure US delivers high quality care for compassion and remains a great place to work. The layoff comes as a part of an effort to reduce administrative costs in order to safeguard our investments in direct patient care. In addition to the layoff, UA says that it is undertaking other non-labor expenses reduction, which when combined with the layoff will lower expense by excessive of $100 million. It says we reassure patients and community that no employees delivering care are affected and the quality of care will continue to meet our high standards, U.S. says. In fact, we continue to have opening clinical areas and encourage health caregivers to apply. Although these actions are difficult, they will make UH stronger now and for decades to come in our continuing service to the community. So UH Hospital, Mr. Bibbs, is following a trend throughout the nation that's closing hospitals and laying off hospital workers. So it's a trend that's happening.
I'm being fair with my dialogue on this few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of hospitals in Cuyahoga County. Look like the last three that closed come out the African American community.
Yes.
East Cleveland got more African Americans in it than any city in the United States. 97% African Americans.
Yes.
The number one African American city in the United States of America. They lost Huron Road Hospital a few years back. Now, St. Vincent, in the heart of the center city, is closed.
Yes.
Now, University Hospital, we're downsizing, is just about 3 or 4 minutes from East Cleveland.
Yes.
I hope we're not seeing a pattern, Ms. Kennedy, of health care being shut down in the African American community in Cuyahoga County. So perhaps we need to talk to our elected officials about it and see what are they doing to put a halt to it if they can. Because it was with the county executives debate last night. You were with me.
Yes.
And Chris O'Neill told Mike Seals, who lived in Ward 7, which is Huff, the difference between living in Huff and Huntington Valley is 20 years lifespan.
Yeah.
Just living. You don't do nothing, same thing.
Yeah. 20 years.
And that's where they're closing the hospital. So we probably have to have a summit with our elected officials and see what they have in mind for healthcare for the African American community in Cuyahoga County. We are concerned about the national, but we're concerned about right here at home.
Absolutely.
Another fine report. Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair.
You're welcome, Mr. Bibb.
Now, switching lanes, we're going back to what's hitting us hard now. This inflation is hitting us hard, and it's going to hit us harder in 23. But we have one of our hosts, Candace Jones, who's going to bring us some awesome information.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so proud of her. While Ms. Kennedy was out of the country, Ms. Candace Jones got certified as a coach on refunds from the Treasury Department. Not a loan from the bank, Reverend Ben Fair.
Yes.
But she's a certified executive with SNAP delivery.
All right.
I bring you Ms. Candace Jones. The mic is all yours, Ms. Candace.
Thank you, Mr. Bibb, and welcome our listening audience for joining us here today. We got a lot of great news here for you. What I want to talk to you about today is SNAP Delivered. As I mentioned, for the past several weeks, SNAP Delivered started in 2021 as a food delivery service. It started as a food delivery service because they wanted to help the restaurant industry with the delivery process. Why is SNAP Delivered so different? Because it helps the restaurants with the delivery fees. So other delivery services charge 20, 30, or 40% of a delivery to deliver that food to their location. Snap Delivered only charges $2 per delivery. So instead of those large fees that other delivery services are charging, a restaurant only has to pay $2 per delivery fee. But Snap Delivered said, hold on, I want to just help. I don't want to just help out with the delivery fees. I want to help out people that need to have some additional income.
Yes.
So drivers also can make additional money with Snap Delivered, because if a restaurant or a customer refers a driver or a restaurant or a customer, they can make a commission off of that. If I go out and I refer Reverend Fair as a customer, and he goes out and refers his favorite restaurant, he gets paid off of every delivery that comes out of that restaurant. So that he doesn't have to be there, he doesn't have to be a part of the delivery or anything. He doesn't have to do it. Tammy, if you have a restaurant and I refer your restaurant, and now your restaurant has orders coming from Snap Delivered to be delivered. So you're talking with your drivers that may be driving with other delivery services, and you give them all the benefits. You can bring, they can bring drivers on. You get paid a commission off of that. Your food is going to be delivered anyway, so why not get paid off of your drivers, additional commission off of your drivers that are delivering that food? The sign up with Snap Delivered, Mr. Bibb, is for free. It doesn't cost anything to sign up with Snap Delivered at all. So hold on to your seats, because Snap Delivered said, we need to take this a little further.
Okay.
We need to offer a little more. So Snap Delivered has additional, what they call laterals, that have been added to the delivery entity. And they also have entertainment. They have a streaming entertainment with a company called Bibb. So there are some customers out there who are paying large cable fees. So if you want to get rid of the cable fees, you want to stream, Snap Delivered has a way that you can do that too. But guess what, Mr. Bibb?
Okay.
You, as a Snap Delivered representative, you refer the Vidco to someone, you get paid a commission off of that person who signs up for the Vidco subscription. And you signed up for Snap Delivered for free, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So you can make all these commissions for free. Where the big one comes in, the really big one that is really hot today and has been for the past several months, is the ERC program. The ERC program is Employee Retention Credit Program. This is a program that started as part of the CARES Act in 2020 when the pandemic came out, because it was a way that a business can make back some of the money. At that time, also in 2020, the PPP loans were available, and banks were helping business owners go out and apply for PPP loans. And the PPP loans was a fairly simple process to go and apply for a business. So they're able to apply and get their funds and even have forgiveness for those funds. But at that time, the pandemic was hitting restaurant industry really hard. Restaurants had to close down. If you have a restaurant and that's your main source of income, it was hurting you. So you wanted to be able to get, funds back as soon as possible. So that's why a lot of businesses applied for PPP loans instead of ERC. And ERC was available at that time. ERC tax credit is through the IRS. It's not through a bank. And a company can go through and apply for the ERC tax credit. So as of the end of 2020, a business that applied for PPP loans in 2020 can also apply for ERC tax credit that is now available. In 2020, it wasn't, but the end of 2020, that legislation was changed so that they can apply for ERC and PPP. But a lot of businesses don't realize that. They still have the ability to apply for ERC tax credit. So now there's a lot of hype about it, that a business that had PPP loans can apply. If you didn't have PPP loans, you can apply. But the one thing is, this is all for W-2, a business that has W-2 employees that you're applying the tax credit for. And a business can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. Now that's a hefty amount. for a business that needs to be able to recoup some of their so-called losses from the pandemic. But when a business gets this money back, they don't have to use it any particular way.
Mhm.
They can use it however they want to use it. It's money that does not have to be paid back. And it's money that they would not normally have anyway. So I am affiliated with the company Snap Delivered, as Mr. Bibb is, and some of the others are, is that we're helping businesses realize that they can apply for this tax credit. Now, this program is going to sunset because as part of the CARES Act, it was stated that a business has 3 years to apply for this tax credit. So in 2025, this program is going to go away. So a business needs to get on board and apply as soon as possible. And what happens is the accounting firm that we're affiliated with will take the documentation that is supplied. They'll go through it very detailed. Now, the requirements on the ERC tax credit program has a lot of legislation requirements and a lot of legal requirements. The accounting firm that we work with is up to date on all that. They're experts at the ERC program, so they know how to, go through and see if you qualify. And when they do the qualification, it has to be quarter by quarter, and they take 2019 and they match it to 2020 and 2021. So it's a quarter by quarter to see if you qualify. So there could be some quarters you'll qualify for more than other quarters, but you could qualify for to get some tax credits back. There are businesses out there that have got millions of dollars back. So it's out there. It's legitimate money to be able to get through the IRS. And this is our IRS filings and its amendment. And it's excuse me, it's an amendment to the 941 payroll tax. It's called a 941X that the accounting firm takes care of. So Tammy, let's say you have a business that you want to refer to this program. You can refer them to the program, and we're going to get to a video in just a minute and show you about the ERC program. And you can refer them to the program. They fill in their business information, and then once they submit, then they are given, that information is given to the accounting firm. They're given a resource from the accounting firm that will let them know, the documentation that's needed. And that resource will take them through the whole process. So it's not like you're working with somebody different each time. So it is a little more involved process than a PPP loan with the bank. So that's why you need someone who has more expertise at this process to be able to go through it. And Mr. Engineer, if you could start the video now. I'm going to show a video that will take just a few minutes, and it'll go in a little more detail about the ERC. And I'm going to share some information about some training that we have coming up.
Hello, this is Tony with Jorns and Associates. Today we'll be discussing the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program. The ERC was first introduced in the $2.1 trillion CARES Act back in March of 2020. It earmarked up to $26,000 per employee for business owners who kept employees hired during the pandemic. This is a fully refundable tax credit against the employer portion of Social Security payroll taxes or the Medicare tax, depending on the period you're filing for. It's paid to you directly via a check. It's not a loan. You don't have to ask for forgiveness. You don't have to pay it back. And these funds are not earmarked. You don't need to use them for payroll or operating expenses. The ERC can be utilized at the discretion of the business owner. You claim the ERC by filing an amended 941X quarterly payroll tax return, claiming your credits on lines 18 and 26. There's several misconceptions about the ERC. Many owners do not think they'll qualify because they did not have a revenue decline, or maybe their revenue increased during the pandemic. Maybe they didn't experience any shutdowns, or they received PPP loans and those loans were forgiven. And while these are factors in the process, they certainly do not disqualify your business from receiving the ERC funds. The qualification process is extremely thorough. Our team will go through gross receipts, revenue sectors. We'll look at your day-to-day operations, your supply chain, basically how the pandemic affected your day-to-day business throughout 2020 and 2021. The scope of engagement is pretty straightforward. You can connect us with your CPA, your bookkeeper, payroll team, so we can get all the documents necessary to file the ERC on your behalf. You'll complete our basic client questionnaire, get us any PPP loan information, provide us with your original 941 returns, so then we can file the 941X amended returns with the IRS and claim the ERC funds. We do not guarantee any specific refund amount until we have all your payroll data and we can run the calculations. We do guarantee that our calculations are accurate. We do guarantee that our filings with the IRS as a paid preparer are compliant with program rules and regulations. And we do provide long-term audit support and carry E&O insurance with up to $1 million per client. The service fee structure creates zero risk for business owners who decide to work with Jones & Associates. We have a contingency fee of 20% on the amount of credits delivered, and we charge a fully refundable deposit of $2,600 due at signing. If for whatever reason your company does not qualify for the ERC program, we refund the $2,600 immediately. If you do qualify, then we'll invoice you for the 20% contingency fee minus the $2,600 deposit you paid at signing. So that is credited towards your fee. So if you get paid by the IRS, you owe us money. If you don't get any money from the IRS, you owe us nothing. We have software perform calculations to eliminate human error, and we have a fully audit-ready package, which includes our compliance services. If you want to move forward with our ERC program, the associate that you're working with can send you an engagement letter that you can sign, remit the fully refundable deposit, provide us with your completed questionnaire and the required documents, your revenue spreadsheet, the 941s, the payroll documents, your PPP loan details. We'll have an onboarding specialist assigned to your file so you have a point of contact to help you through this process from beginning to end. Our CPAs will prepare all the filing documents, send it over for your team to review. The documents will be signed, mailed to the IRS, and in approximately 14 to 20 weeks, you'll receive your check from the IRS. Once you get paid, we'll have you pay us the remaining balance for the contingency fee, and that's due after you get your check. There's plenty of information about the ERC on the irs.gov website. You have to go through all the different PDFs, and you can also review the CARES Act, the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, and now the new infrastructure bill will have an effect on the guidance. So you have to keep up with everything, which our team will do that on your behalf. The bottom line is there's over $1 trillion earmarked right now for businesses just like yours. And right now, that $1 trillion+ is sitting in the United States Treasury's account. Connect with one of our associates today and let us help you move those funds out of the Treasury's account and into your business account where they truly belong.
Isn't that some awesome news?
Yes.
About that program? So as Tony mentioned, it's risk-free as far as a business going through the process. So I want to share some information of an upcoming event this coming Saturday, October 29th at Chandler Park, which is 17325 Euclid Avenue at the corner of Euclid Avenue and London Road in room 2011, which is the second floor conference room. We're going to do a training on SNAP Delivered. We'll do a presentation. We'll get more involved in the ERC program as well. The Reverend Fair, let's say, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I know some businesses that could probably might qualify for the ERC program because they may have W-2 employees. You can sign up for SNAP Delivered free, but let's say you said, oh, I don't really want to be involved in the delivery part. You can sign up to be what's called the ERC agent.
Oh, really?
And you can refer businesses through the ERC program. You signed up for free, and you can still get paid a commission off of that. So you sign up for free, you're helping the
Sounds
business
good.
out that would not normally have this money anyway. And it's a legal, legitimate way of getting money back from the IRS. So I, employ everybody to go out and, talk to business owners that you know of. Even if you know a CPA, I met a gentleman that has a financial services business. And he said that he knows about the ERC, but he just has not had time to go through and look at all the details. And that's usually what a normal CPA and a bookkeeper or something, they may not have time to go through and look at all the details. They can refer their business, their clients to the ERC program through one of the SNAP resources, and they could become an agent and, get a commission based that way. So there are so many small and medium-sized businesses that can take advantage of this funding. So why not do it? So I employ everybody to go out there and find a business that needs to get some additional money the legal way.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Candace Jones. And awesome program, awesome video, and more to come Saturday.
Yes.
Now we're going to interrupt this podcast. We might have some heartbreaking news coming in from the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. Is Mr. Mike Seals still available?
No, he's not on the line now.
Okay.
Mr. Drupto.
Now, Ms. Candace, I know you're out of breath, but we have a statewide person coming up next. I would like for you to introduce our next guest, please. Ms. Talley.
And I'm not out of breath because I am just so excited about talking about the ERC. Now I get to talk about the Ohio Unity program and introduce Petite Tally, because this is another exciting program that can help, everybody out as far as in the voting world. So I want to introduce Petite Tally, who is part of the Ohio Unity Voter Empowerment Campaign, and she's going to share some information with us about We Won't Black Down. So Petite Tally, are you on the line?
Yes,
Repeat that again. We won't what?
We won't black down.
All right. Reverend Fair didn't hear that, and I want to make sure you heard that. Thank you.
That's right. That's right, Mr. Bibbs. Mr. Bibbs, it's not we won't back down. It's we won't black down.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. People get ready because we got 14 days to make a change in this state, in your city, in your state, in federal government, if we participate. So I'm Petite Tally. I'm the convener of the Ohio Coalition on Black Civic Participation. We're a statewide organization. We're doing work currently in Ohio in this election cycle in 6 cities across the state of Ohio, where individuals have agreed to step up and coordinate some on-the-ground activities to make sure that Black communities are engaged in voting in this election. We kicked off this campaign back in July. And in July, we were more focused on making sure people were vote ready. So we rolled out a program in Cleveland, in Columbus, and in Toledo, and Dayton, and Youngstown. And we worked throughout the summer with our QR code that individuals could easily scan to find out if they were on the voter rolls. You scan the code, you type in your name and your city and county that you live in, and that takes you directly into the state voter file operated by the Ohio Secretary of State. If you found your name on the voter roll and clicked into it and it looked like everything was good, then you knew that you were duly verified to vote in the election. However, if you scanned your name and you typed in all your information, and then once you got to the secretary's page and you clicked in your name and it said something about confirmation, they could not confirm your voter status, that meant one of 2 things: that you had fallen off the voter rolls, meaning that you had been purging that has been taking place across the state of Ohio. Since 2018, over 500,000 Ohioans have been removed from the voter rolls either through death or moving out of state or erroneously by not responding to a piece of communication that the Board of Election would have sent you. And so we spent the summer making sure people were checking their status, and we used our QR code to get that done. Voter registration closed October 11th, but before voter registration closed, we actually were part of a comedy tour that launched, a national comedy tour actually, that launched in the city of Cleveland on October the 7th, where we were entertained in comedy by 4 outstanding comedians that flew in from New York, Baltimore. I don't know where the other 2 were from. And then we also had a special visit from celebrity comedian Kim Coles. You all know her from Living Single. Woo, woo, woo. She was the heartthrob of Overton, a Clevelander's love interest in that series. She actually came to the comedy tour at the Atlas Theater, where we were entertained for a couple of hours with some comedy, adding some comedy in something that was called The Power of the Ballot. That tour left Cleveland and landed in Toledo. We did a weekend of canvassing while we were there in Cleveland. We came to Toledo where we did some training, and then the national group went off to Columbus where they also did canvassing and frequented one of the churches. Since that time, Mr. Bibbs, we've been busy on the ground. We actually followed the comedy tour with a bus tour that came through Ohio. Started out in Toledo, Ohio. It arrived along with 3 other buses that talked about banned books, where they gave away banned books, things like the Bible and The Color Purple and The Bluest Eye. And y'all know the list of books that have been banned. This was a group of civil rights activists of today who they called their tour From Freedom Writers to Freedom Readers, and making sure that these books make it into the hands of our community, even though they may be banned at schools or libraries or whatever have you. So we coupled that with the Blackest Bus in America, Black Voters Matter, rode through with a new theme that they were introducing in the States called We Won't Black Down. And they came to Toledo, they left Toledo and rode into Cleveland. They did some things over at the East Cleveland Library with Cleveland's own George Frazier, keynoting some speaking that was going on there. They left Cleveland, they went to Akron, Ohio, and where they picked up on, some of the community organizers that are organizing around Charter Amendment 10, where they want to hold police accountable, especially in light of the Jayland Walker shooting that took place. So they were hosted the bus coming through there. And then the bus left Akron and went on to Columbus, where they rallied the troops there. And then the bus left Columbus and went on to Dayton, did some more rallying, then it went on to Cincinnati before it actually left the state. So a 6-city tour, all designed to make sure that we understand that our power is in voting and encouraging Ohioans to go out and vote. So now we are in the 14-day push. And although Ohioans have began going to the polls and they've been voting since October 12th, the word on the street is that voting in the Black community, y'all, is not on par with where we were during the 2018 midterm elections. So over these next 14 days, we've got some work to do. With 14 days left, Mr. Bibbs, we've got to hold on to our power, to our freedom, to our rights, and continue the fight for justice. So this campaign, We Won't Black Down, is geared to ignite a fire in everyone to do whatever it takes to get our community out to vote. Now, we've had some tough times in the last 2.5 years. We've had COVID that has wreaked havoc on our community. People have lost loved ones, they've lost jobs, they've lost their homes. It's just been a very tough 2.5 years. But if we think back in 2020, Black communities across the nation, and particularly here in Ohio, we showed our power. We stepped up and we got to the polls, right? We voted for an agenda that we wanted for our families from elected officials. And guess what? We did get some things when we went out and voted in 2020. We got some tax credits. We got a Black woman on the United States Supreme Court. And now we are going back to get more from elected officials in this election, but only if we show up. And we have got to do that. We're doing this because why? We won't Black down. We won't Black down when they say we don't vote. We won't Black down when they say you're laid off from the company or the company goes out of business. We just won't Black down at all. So through this campaign, in the last 14 days, we're hoping to create a sense of teamwork across the state and particularly at the city level and generate some excitement to get us to the finish line on November the 8th. So for the next 14 days, we will have some signs, push cards, door hangers, all the things that we need to get out into the community, and we could use some help. We should all be letting people know about the dates and times the early vote location is open. We've got on those push cards and door hangers, we've got to scan the QR code so that you can, again, check your registration. But more importantly, there's a button on the QR code where you can find your polling location, right? Everybody, they move polling locations around. So the button is there. All you need to do is push, where do I go vote on election day? And it'll give you that information. You push another button on the QR code and it'll remind people to go down to the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections and give people that address. We want our community to make a plan to vote. And you can vote every day this week, including on Saturday. And next week, you can vote every day, Monday through Friday, including Saturday, November 5th and Sunday, November 6th, where we hope churches will encourage their congregants to take their souls to the polls. And even if people say they don't know what's on the ballot, we've got on the door hanger that you can go to www.vote411.org and you type in your address, your name and address, and it will bring up a sample of what might be on your ballot. So there's no excuse. And you can also look for a voter guide that our team has been distributing in the community with comparison pieces on the candidates for the Ohio governor's race and the Ohio United States Senate race. So there's no excuse for people not to know what is going on. There should not be a neighborhood where we live in this state, in the Black community, that is not aware that there's a major election happening. And more importantly, they need to know whatever is going on in their lives, even though it may be challenging, we won't Black down because staying home in this election is not an option. So I just want to encourage your listeners and everyone that is on this call or listening to this podcast, that together we can use our power and vote. We've got to make sure that we take more than ourselves to the polls this year. We got to do it like we've done it in the past. In 2008, when President Obama was on the ballot, we got to make sure that we're taking everybody in our household and other people to vote. Why? Because we won't Black down. That's what this campaign is about. I hope you all catch the fever of that. Get on board. There's going to be an ad truck running through the streets of Cleveland, November 5th and 6th. It'll have information on there about, going to the early vote location and where that information it is. It will encourage people to go vote that day. And if you want to get involved with this operation, I would encourage you to call our toll-free number, 888-614-0844. Pam Mason is still on the ground there in Cleveland, Ohio. She has Adrian Mathis, who's working with her, and a small team that is trying to get the word out. But we need all hands on deck for these next 14 days. We
Ms.
want
Talley, can
right
you,
now.
can you repeat that number for someone that wants to get involved?
Sure, it is 888-614-0844.
Okay. Thank you very much for all that important information. Very much appreciated. And we need to get people out to vote.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Ms. Talley,
Ms. Talley.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibbs.
excellent report.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear you up to date. We're awfully far behind 18. You know that, right?
Right.
So what I'd like to see you do statewide is to split these days up, see what we can overcome that deficit between now and next week when you come on the program, and let us know what to do to get these voters out. I'm getting
Yes,
all
sir.
kind of calls from around the state. We have to double up our efforts. So we want to try to set up some kind of target to increase the information, because the information is not getting to the voters that voted in 18. And as you
That's
know,
exactly,
Cuyahoga
Mr.
County voted in the
Yes.
last primary 6%.
Yes, sir.
So let's work these next 7 days. So when you make the report, you can share with us how much we gained on the deficit and what we get to do in the last 6 or 7 days.
Yes, sir, we can do that. And for, just so you know, I agree with everything you said. We specifically in this campaign, we targeted voters, the people that are out knocking on doors. They're not knocking on every door. They're knocking specifically on the doors of voters who voted in 2020, but they didn't vote in 2018, right? And so we're really trying to get those voters who don't typically vote in a midterm election. We're targeting them specifically with our phones. We have some phone banking going on. We have some door knocking going on there in Cleveland and these other 6 cities. And so I'm happy to come back and give a full report, updated report when on your podcast next Wednesday.
All right, very good. And we're going to do it internally here in the Cuyahoga County, and we'll be able to share with you where we are in Cuyahoga County as opposed to 18.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that awesome report, and it's nice working with you, and I'm looking forward to next week.
And thank you for pushing out the printed materials that we have. There is a voter guide that Pam Mason has there. And I'll make sure she gets that to you, Ms. Jones, so that you can distribute it however you all see fit. There's an online version, but we also have a printed version because we know that everybody doesn't have access to the internet. And so we printed thousands of them that are there in Cleveland and these other cities that we have.
Okay, take this information down on Saturday, the Saturday coming up. We'll be stationary for about 4 hours at 17325 Euclid Avenue, the Chandler Park building. We're having a conference. You heard us talking about it earlier. It'll be a good time to drop off material for the next week.
Okay, I'll make sure Pam knows that.
And Ms. Candace Jones will send you that information also.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Did Mr. Mike Seals make it back?
Yes. He's here.
Mike Seals from the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party. If you can hear us, Mike, come back, because we're going to hear from Ms. Tammy Kennedy. She has a wealth of information for us. Ms. Tammy Kennedy,
Yes,
the mic
sir.
is all yours.
All right, Mr. Bibb. Yeah, I'm just on. I'm glad to be back. I wish I would have been out of the country, Mr. Bibb, but no, I'm still here in Cleveland.
Glad to see you.
Yeah. So right. We want to do that, but there's a lot going on in Cleveland this week. I'm going to tell you about 3 things that I know about that you may be interested. The one thing, and I'm actually going to be a volunteer at this event, is called Future Land. Right? That's Future Land. And the mission is for the future, for the culture, for the land. And Futureland is actually a conference. It's more than a conference. It's a movement driven by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So that's why I'm involved, because I am an entrepreneur, and I believe we should definitely get into entrepreneurship. But anyway, in Cleveland, we believe that Cleveland is a leading destination for founders of color looking to build their startups in an environment where they can thrive. So our mission is to transform, well, their mission is to transform Cleveland's innovation and tech ecosystem to be more inclusive and supportive of diverse founders. So together, we're building Cleveland's future. So this event, it starts tomorrow, Thursday, October 27th. It's Thursday and Friday. It's going on at several different premier destinations in Cleveland. Tomorrow morning, there is a fireside chat with our mayor, Justin Bibb, and Rich Paul. So Cleveland native and founder of Clutch Sports Group will be sharing his journey through sports, business, wealth building, and investing. That's going to be early in the morning. You can go to Eventbrite, because that's a separate ticket, I believe. I don't even know if it's sold out or whatever. Then there's a keynote luncheon that's also taking place. There's educational programming and a homecoming concert of Cleveland local talent. There's a pitch cipher. There's there's going to be a pitch competition where you can win. These are founders of color can win up to $100,000. So I think that people should be interested in that. So that starts tomorrow morning with the mayor and having a breakfast with Rich Paul. The second thing I want to talk about, Mr. Bibb, is that Case Western Reserve Social Justice Institute is having a think tank. That also starts tomorrow. And you can go online to find it, Case Western Reserve Social Justice Institute think tank. That is actually a free event that's going on for 2 or 3 days. You might want to take advantage of that. That's an event that has a lot of local activists and social justice, people who are into social justice like myself. You may want to check that out. Again, that's free. It starts tomorrow. 5:45 is check-in. All right, so that's just going to Case Western Reserve. Well, go to case.edu/social justice/think tank. All right, case.edu/social justice/think tank. And let me go back. I didn't give you the website for the Futureland Cleveland. It's futurelandcle.com. That's futurelandcle.com. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, the Greater Cleveland Distribution Collective, of which I am the founder, we're having our Big Boo 2. It's going to be in Euclid, Ohio. We had a Big Boo 2 in Glenville last year, where we give out a lot of hygiene and sanitation supplies. So we want everybody to come out. Of course, it's free. This is an event that's happening in Euclid. If you all are familiar with the East 260 and Euclid block, there's a Simon's grocery store, and we'll be in that parking lot. So it's a drive-through, walk-through, bike-through. We don't really care as long as you come through and get the hygiene supplies. We're going to give away a whole lot of supplies, and we want you to tell everybody. It starts at 1 o'clock, and we want you to come. Again, you can drive through, you can walk through, or bike through. I'm doing this in conjunction with the Euclid councilman, Marcus Epps, and Bridgeport. Bridgeport has the program with Tri-C, Transportation Innovation Center. So come on out to that. So that's 3 great events that I know. I'm sure there's other stuff going on in Cleveland this weekend, but starting tomorrow, Futureland Cleveland. Also starting tomorrow, Think Tank. And then on Saturday Kennedy is the Big Boo 2.
Thank you. Awesome report.
You're welcome, Mr. Bibb.
And I would like you to come back, not next week,
Okay.
because we're going to have the great forum here next week. I need you here. We're going to have the 2 candidates who are running for Cuyahoga County Executive.
Oh, excellent.
They can only speak on one subject.
Oh, okay.
The $1 billion jail they're going to build on the next county executive's watch.
Oh,
They'll have 8 minutes, Miss Tammy,
okay.
to tell us what they're gonna do with the jail.
Okay.
And I want you, each one of you, to be able to ask them a question,
Okay, we could do that.
because I'm gonna ask them a question of what you gonna do to keep them from going to jail.
That's a good question, Mr. P.
You get that, Reverend?
Yes, sir.
I'm not interested in big jails. I'm interested in keeping young folks out of jail.
That's
Right.
right.
And
That's
they'll be here live and living color.
Okay.
We talked to them yesterday at the great debate at Mount Zion Baptist Church.
Mhm.
And I want to thank everybody for this special show. And we extend it for Ms. Talley, because this is so important that we get the vote out. We are not getting the vote out, Reverend.
Right.
Miss
Mhm.